When you talk about political satire, a few names come to mind. Mort Saul is one, Art Buchwald is another, and this young man is fast developing a cult of his own. Please welcome one of the very brightest of the political humorists, Carl Wolfson.
And he recently wrote Rich Little's forthcoming comedy album. And he's with us today, I think, for the fourth time. Would you welcome Carl Wolfson?
We're pleased to introduce to you now the editor of Inside Midnight. This is Mr. Carl Wolfson.
Yeah. The wonderful comedian who made a huge splash last time he was on our show. This week he's at the L.A. Cabaret, and on April 21st through April 26th, he will be headlining at the Punchline in Atlanta, Georgia. Please welcome the very funny Carl Wolfson.
Very funny man, and he's been on every talk show known to mankind. Mr. Carl Wolfson, ladies.
He is a friend of mine, and he's a very funny man. Put your hands together for Carl Wolfson!
One of the regular features that we have here on The Late Show is called Carl's Camera. And joining us right now with his slightly twisted look at the world's top newsmakers is Carl Wolfson.
Hey, thank you, Ross.
We have a big sports report tonight. Ross, sports report.
On television and in comedy clubs from coast to coast, Carl Wolfson has established his reputation as one of America's finest stand-up comedians. Carl is a veteran of more than 5,000 performances. His current events and observational humor is the perfect choice for your company's next meeting.
I went to Safeway the other day, and I'm buying butter, because I'm out of butter. And I reach for what I buy. For some reason I can't believe it's not butter. I have no idea when I started, but I buy it. So I'm reaching for it, I can't believe it's not butter. And right next to it, I see a product. Could it be butter? It's pressure I don't need in my life. First of all, a lawyer had to name that product for a company. Could it be butter? Because they have immunity from all liability. Say you buy it, you take it home, it's not butter. Say it's a tub of pork fat. You return it to the store, what are they going to say? We didn't tell you it was butter. My point is, you can't start naming products with a question. Pretty soon there's no fancy feast in the cat aisle, just a tin. Could it be monkey meat? Go into Musicland and pick up a Michael Bolton CD. Could it be crap? My favorite marketing thing going on now is up in North Dakota. There's a move underway in North Dakota to change the name of North Dakota to Dakota. Because, this is their reasoning, that north connotes cold. And it curbs tourism. I've been in North Dakota, 80 below wind chill. These are some marketing geniuses. Why don't they just change the name of the state to, I can't believe it's not Florida. Are you from there, ma'am? Missouri.
Okay. A little hormone change there, but thank you. It's that tough Midwestern winters that, you know, bring out the beef in a woman. This is my point exactly about the Midwest. And then there are Valley kids, Valley boys and girls. I lived in the San Fernando Valley. You heard of them? Their brains are fried, man. I lived on the corner of Gnarly and Bitchin'. That's where I lived in the valley. They do a junior high study every year in Los Angeles. This is the gospel. They ask kids to name as many presidents as they can, as many beers as they can. Guess which they name more of? You got it. Last year, best they ever did. 4.8 presidents in the average, 5.2 beers. Who's running against Bush? Bush Light. So, everybody helping out with the war effort. Having a hand for our troops over there. Give them a round of applause. While we're doing our 2 great villains. Everybody's helping out. You know, Strom Thurmond was at the White House last week sharing his experience from the Spanish-American War. And thanks for helping out. It's like a replay of the Gulf War. I was looking at CNN. Stormin' Norman Schwarzkopf is an analyst on there. And I think, first of all, that's the best name ever for a general. You know, Stormin' Norman Schwarzkopf.
You gotta have a general name, something like Storm. You don't want General Dancing Dave Hazelnut. I mean, you're not following that guy anywhere, are you? I'm not really happy about our allies' support in this conflict. Italy, you know what they offered us, Mark, last week? The new Italian Navy. Oh, we're going to win now. The new Italian Navy that sails in glass-bottom boats. So we can see the old Italian Navy. France is a big help. They're catering the war. Have the Frenchies on our side, huh? George Bush wants to bring democracy to Afghanistan. He's sending them some voting booths from Florida, so...
The Milwaukee Journal said of Carl, his political jabs are needle sharp.
I was at the Republican convention in San Diego in '96. True story. We're setting up for some interviews for Comedy Central. Old woman delegate runs the entire length of the convention floor, starts screaming right into the cameras. We didn't have homosexuals in the 1950s. I said, well, somebody put the fins on those Cadillacs. Somebody did those beehive hairdos, lady. Take a powder. If you got a lobby, you got power. My favorite lobbyists are tobacco people. They got billions to spend, and they're the greatest liars ever. They said last month, smoking is good for you, because smoking makes you cough, and coughing is a great upper body aerobic workout. They get their new video, Hacking Your Way to Health. I love to read USA Today. It's my favorite paper, bar none. They write that like you're in elementary school. You ever read USA Today? It's like, George Bush went to China. He flew on a big plane. He is our president. He does not like Osama bin Laden. Bin Laden is a mean and nasty man. He is the real father of Tanya Harding. What? Actually, my favorite president of all time is a Republican, Gerald Ford. Didn't know anything, didn't care. They once asked Ford how he felt about vetoes. He said, I like all the Italian people. Jimmy Carter, wonderful moral man, but he inspired no confidence. Carter used to give speeches, say stuff like, I've been all across this country, from Maine to Massachusetts. See, they're close, those states, Chris. Reagan, just 75, they asked Reagan once if the war on poverty were over. He said, yes, the poor lost. See, I think we need a woman president, right, ladies? Woman president, you know what? That way, if we break off relations with another country, we get all their furniture, their cars, and half their...
Carl is also popular on the corporate circuit because of his comedy slideshow. Who else would create the Fighting Amish? The Rocky Mountain News said, his news update with rapid-fire slides and commentary is bitingly brilliant.
PBS, public television, will have a fine lineup this fall, including Arnold Schwarzenegger in Shakespeare for Slow People. This is going to be great, folks.
Just send Carl photos of your employees, and they'll be on the screen in a variety of hilarious situations.
When he awoke, W continued to fill cabinet posts. Bush announced the selection of Kansas native Ted Colson as Secretary of Agriculture. Even though Ted talks slowly and takes forever to explain things, Bush said, it's a real plus since farm animals will relate to him. Meanwhile, Mark Ellis has enlisted Lango in his quest to capture the rare Iowa blue bunny. talked about their lives and their past. Gene Orban said his great-great-grandfather was the Earl of Orban. Who was the fanciest dresser in all of Europe. The foppish Orban spent £1 million a year on jewelry for himself and his milkmaids. Jerry Meister tearfully recalled how he rose from humble rural roots. Meister said he was raised on a farm near Kingsley, Iowa, where his father eked out a living as a moderately successful pig proctologist. Rich Ellison said he was confused as a baby and doesn't remember anything.
The St. Petersburg Times said, Wolfson presents a relaxed figure on stage, shifting from written routines to audience discussion easily. He is a class act.
And where were you from there, Mark? Illinois, yeah. I love Chicago, great town, my favorite town. Okay, not Chicago. Well, let me revise my material then. Here's my big Peoria bit, ladies and gentlemen. I tried to use you for a segue, and I got burned. Where are you from in Illinois? What's the exact town so we can be accurate here? Down around Champaign. It's like my New Year's.
I've done comedy for 23 years, and I still have one main goal: to have fun on stage. I'll work hard to personalize my show for your group. I'll make you laugh from start to finish, and I guarantee I'll brighten your day.
There's good news from the state of California, though, about earthquakes. This is great. They found out that animals are very sensitized to the Earth's movements. Animals can predict quakes and run for cover. Now, here's your tip. If you're on the freeway, you see an airport bus packed with schnauzers, get the hell out of town. Thanks a lot. You guys have been great.